definitely in the last 2 weeks, it feels like living, next to a monster that might come up and grab a few more houses every now and then. So, it's been tense. A lot of farmers and people growing food and stuff like that have been going out of business despite the fire. And of course, now with things just so dry, the big question is how they're going to come up, and sort of make something good out of this, or try and keep on going, or find a way through, I guess. Yeah, the scale is insane. It's hard to get your head around, and I think if it's not in your face now, you've got to be under a rock on the other side of the moon. We're seeing the biggest fire on record ever. Yeah, I think people need to change their headsets a little bit and start to think it, and maybe now having this happen to us is kind of to try and get out of it what we can in a good way, is that okay, now we've got a head start on this and we can start to look on how to rebuild and cope and live with fire essentially in a big way. My hope is that it's going to open up people's minds to creative solutions to dealing with this. I've been talking a lot about rehydrating the landscape or managing landscapes a lot better, and I think that will offer a big key. Yeah, so the market garden's okay. I'd been keeping water up on new veggies put in and things like that too. There was an orchard there, about 500 trees, and about 350 of those are gone now, which is essentially something that's probably the bigger tragedy on the farm, I guess, the orchard, because trees take a long time to establish. It was a big job and a lot of work, and those are the sorts of things you invest in. And a lot of us didn't have insurance too. It's kind of hard to get good insurance on orchards, so everything uninsured. Packing shed and all equipment got burnt too, which is a bit of a setback. It's going to take a little while to rebuild from that too. Dams, a lot of the dams are sucked at least half dry. So the big question is now how to rebuild with virtually nothing in the dam and no rain on the cards. The impact is probably more psychological and where to go from here. I can rebuild a shed, I can buy new equipment, but the question is, why would I invest that money on that unless I'm a little bit sure I can do it in a way that is sustainable? Because that's going to be the big question too for a lot of people. Is this going to be worth trying to rebuild? It's been interesting over these last few weeks, really seeing a lot of the older people in the area and the community that have been through fires, back in '79 and a number of fires that have come through the area, and they've got ideas. Everyone's got ideas, and the thing with fire is it's really hard to predict. It's so fickle. It rips through Bilpin like a tornado that just had no direction, rhyme or reason. It's at a lot of times. So there's only, I think, a limited amount you can do.